big story if it takes up above and below the fold here in the paper. Look at the agreement between US Airways, big-time deal in Philadelphia, and American Airlines, now creating, I believe, it's the biggest airline in the world, certainly in the country.
The world's biggest airline. So as part of this deal, they have to give up takeoff and landing slots to low-cost carriers at some big city airports like LaGuardia in New York and Reagan in D.C. Now, a judge still has to sign off. But if this goes through, what we're asking this morning, what does it mean for you and for me? You're right. This is a big story.
I was reading about it here. There's so many layers to the story. Merger takes off. This thing is going to be huge. Will it mean better service for us, especially in Philadelphia?
I just want to know if it means we have to pay more for tickets, and then if other airlines will follow suit. Really? So we have travel expert here, Mark Murphy. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
That's the first question. When you search for plane tickets, the first thing you push is lowest costs.
Right.
And maybe a nonstop if you can.
So they're not going to, the prices aren't coming down. They're actually going to go up.
They are going to go up.
Yeah, they're going to go up because less competition. 85% of all traffic in the domestic U.S. is handled now after this merger by 4 major carriers.
But they would say it's going to be more competition, you know, with Delta. Delta's doing really well.
Yeah.
It would create more competition, which would mean that the prices would go down. There'd be a price war.
Fewer people, fewer carriers, right? Less competition.
Supply and demand.
It's economics.
Yeah, and what's happening is more people are flying and there's fewer seats. So again, supply and demand, simple supply and demand. And that's what's happening. And you also talk about things like baggage and everything else. What these guys are able to do is charge more on fees, back end all the costs. So you're going to pay less in some cases for that seat jammed in the back, but more if you want more room, more if you want to check bags, more if you want to change your ticket. Things like that.
Well, let's talk about our local employees, especially for US Air.
Very good.
Can we keep the hub here?
Yes, yes. In fact, in this agreement, it's a 5-year deal that they can't disrupt any of the hubs or any of the secondary markets, which was a big concern of the DOJ. Let's face it, the DOJ should never have brought this. This should never have seen the light of day.
Really?
Here's why.
Why?
United, Continental, every other merger beforehand. So why all of a sudden is US Air and
what
American
was their argument?
I think it was a political ploy. I don't see any reason why they should have done it. And you know what? The airlines have lost billions of dollars. They've all gone bankrupt. So now all of a sudden you're going to say, we're going to save $1 billion by combining these 2 carriers?
Hold on. I've got frequent flyer on US Air, but I don't have it on American.
So this is going to help you as a business traveler.
Why is that?
Because you're now going to be able to have more access to different cities, more routes, flying out of here, right? So that's good. There wasn't a lot of overlap between the 2 carriers, and that's why it's good for them. I mean, this opens up your frequent flyer tickets to where? The Caribbean, to Latin America,
Europe.
So let's say we're traveling for the holidays and I booked a ticket on US Airways. Do I just bypass American? You know, eventually the terminals, like all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's the confusion. So when the United Continental deal went down, people had a ticket on United, but should they call Continental? Which gate do they go to? Which terminal do they go to? So that's going to be the confusion. And then all the back-end computer reservation stuff, that was a disaster for those guys.
Still called American?
It'll be called American.
American, not US Air.
Correct.
You got it, man.
All right,
Thank you.
For coming in this morning.
I like that with the sports this morning. What were you doing
what
with
was
the
that?
arms?
Oh, that's, you know, you're getting, that's hilarious. I was getting the defense hyped, you know.
All right, I was just checking.
We're all hyped.
Funny.
Hey, still ahead, it's the happiest